APC supporters have lost confidence in Zamfara State Commissioner of Police. Troops arrest notorious arms supplier with police ID card, recover 4 million naira and arms. Presidential Task Force says some international travelers are presenting fake COVID-19 results on business. Inflation rate hit 13.22%, the highest jump since October 2016. And on the international scene, Nigeria's Mohammed Bande bows out as United Nations General Assembly's president. Hello and welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Unyoza. Supporters of the All Progressives Congress, APC in Zamfara State, have written to the Inspector General of Police under the leadership of the state chairman, Lawal M. Liman Gabdo Kaura, to set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the refusal of the State Police Commissioner, CP Usman Nagogo, to attend to their various complaints and petitions. In a press conference held in Gusau, the state chairman of the APC said supporters have lost confidence on CP Usman Nagogo in the state. The chairman said there are copies of all the correspondence between the party secretariat and State Police Command, which they shared with journalists for wider publication to the general public. The chairman accused the State Police Commissioner of conspiring with the PDP-led government in the state to illegally arrest APC members on unfounded allegations. He said the party has written severally to the CP concerning the molestation and harassment of its members, but the CP had never for once responded, investigated, or even invited any of the APC members to hear from him. To find out from the police commissioner, the police public relations officer is with me here in the studio. Thank you, SP Mohammed Shehu, for taking your time to be part of this program.
Thank you very much.
Let me begin by asking the commissioner's response on the allegation leveled against him by the APC members that they have been unfairly treated.
Once again, thank you. The question is to enable the command make clarifications in respect of the allegation that the police command has been unfair to the opposition party, which is not correct. We keep on saying it. Nigerian police is an institution established by the law, by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
And by virtue of our constitutional responsibilities, we are mandated to treat everybody equally. Our responsibility is to protect lives and property, apprehend offenders, maintain law and order, irrespective of political affiliation, status, or standing in the society. So, as far as we are concerned here in Zamfara State, we are trying as much as possible to ensure that we conduct or do we discharge our mandate in line with the professional ethics of the police job. And that is why we are being trained and retrained almost from time to time, so as to make us become conversant with our responsibility. So the issue of being unfair to a political party, being fair to another political party, this allegation is unfounded. We are political. We are not a political institution. You understand? We are an institution that belongs to everybody, and we serve everybody irrespective of whatever somebody may call it.
Okay. They said they have series of correspondences containing large volumes of complaints without them being responded to by the CP. Do you have any genuine evidence to prove them wrong?
Like I told you, part of our responsibilities is to ensure we treat everybody equally. We ensure that our duties goes to everybody, irrespective of, like I said, political affiliation or whatever you can call it. I want to tell you that the police command under the watch of CP Osman Naboko has been fair to everybody. Whosoever that has a complaint and bring it to the police command, the command makes sure that the complaint is treated professionally. So the issue of another person or group bringing a complaint and the CP refuses to attend to such complaint, I believe this allegation is also not correct. You understand?
Yeah.
We have been receiving allegations. We have been receiving complaint.
Okay.
We have been receiving reports, cases from everybody. And we have been treated, the CP has been treating such complaint, giving them to State CID, intelligence office of the command, or any other outfit that CP find fits to investigate such complaint or case. And the complaint or the complaints have been, the CP has been, or maybe the police has been treating such complaints from all and sundry. So I don't know where these allegations came from, though you said it's from the ABC.
Yeah.
But honestly, I want to tell you that the command is doing everything humanly possible to treat everybody, irrespective of his status or standing in the society.
Thank you for having time for visiting us in our new studio.
Thank you.
A stalwart of the opposition All Progressives Congress APC in Zamfara State chapter, Alhaji Abubakar Dantabawa, who was arrested in his Gusau residence alongside 17 others, has claimed that the sum of 20 million naira was missing after policemen invaded his sitting room on Sunday. He said he has therefore decided to take legal action against the police and the state government. Alhaji Dantabawa made a claim at a press briefing at his residence in Gusau, the state capital, yesterday, saying there was a sum of 20 million naira meant for the planned distribution of palliatives to the victims of flood at his hometown in Bungudu local government area of the state. Apart from the arrest, which was illegally but purely politically motivated, his wife called him while he was under police custody at the police headquarters, asked him for where he kept the said money. He described for her exactly where the money was kept, but she finally told him the money was not there. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced 200 billion naira mortgage finance loan to Family Homes Fund. The fund is for the building of 300,000 homes in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. It is also expected to help create up to 1.5 million jobs in 5 years. The CBN framework for the implementation of the Family Homes Financing Scheme released yesterday indicated that the fund would be released to FMF on projects subject to the cumulative maximum limit of 200 billion naira. According to the framework, the 3-year term loan will enable FHF finance the construction of social housing units for people on low income at an interest rate not more than 5% per annum, all inclusive. The Apex Bank said it introduced the financing initiative to support the federal government's economic sustainability program. Troops of Operation Sahel Sanity have arrested a suspected illegal arms supplier, Usman Ibrahim from Riyom in Barikin Ladi local government area of Plateau State, with over 2 million naira cash in his possession. A statement by the Action Director, Defense Media Operations Defense Headquarters, Abuja, Brigadier General Bernard Oyoko, said the suspected gun runner was arrested on 10th September by troops acting on actionable intelligence. General Oyoko said investigations shows that the suspect is a major illegal arms dealer supplying bandits in the northwest. The suspect was arrested with 890 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition carefully concealed in his vehicle. Other items recovered from him include one jackknife, one pistol grip, a Nigerian police identity card, and 2,230,000 naira cash. The defense director added that on the same 10th September, troops conducting clearance operation at Shikawa General Area destroyed several bandit camps, during which one bandit was killed, and 3 suspected bandits, namely Adamu Musa, Hassan Bello, and Rabiu Salisu, were arrested. In continuation of his sympathy visits to communities affected by flood in the state, Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State visited areas displaced by flood in Dandi and Kokobese local government areas. The governor was accompanied by the Speaker, Kebbi State House of Assembly, Alhaji Ismail Abdulmumin Kamba, Alhaji Garuba Salihudila, the chairman of Dandi local government, the district head of Kamba, Sarikin Shiko, Alhaji Mohammed Zarumai, Alhaji Ibrahim Bawa Kamba, Chairman Contributory Pension Board, and other top government officials. He went around the affected communities to commiserate with the flood victims at the various camps provided by the state government to provide temporary accommodation to them. He went around the affected communities to commiserate with the flood victims at the various camps provided by the state government to provide temporary accommodation to them. INEC's Residential Electoral Commissioner in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Mike Ijini, on Tuesday said that 3 university lecturers had been confirmed to be involved in electoral malpractice during the 2019 general elections. Mr. Ijini, who addressed newsmen at the INEC office in Uyo, said that 3 officials of the electoral body had also been sacked over alleged involvement in electoral malpractices. According to him, the 3 university teachers will soon be charged to court. Mr. Ijini, however, did not mention the names of the institutions and the areas where the malpractice took place. The lecturers who were engaged as collation and returning officers during the 2019 general elections were reported to have manipulated and falsified election results. The REC explained that not less than 3 of the staff of the Commission from the ICT unit and those in the rank of executive and administrative officers were also involved in actions that completely undermined the electoral process and integrity of the Commission. Kano State Government has rehabilitated 3 Almajiri integrated boarding schools with 159 million naira. So Base reports that the 3 schools that have been provided with facilities and new buildings constructions are in Kanwa in Madobi local government, Bonkure in Bonkure local government, and Kiyawa in Bagwai local government area of the state. The State Commissioner of Education, Malam Mohammed Sanusi Said Kiru, stated this on Tuesday during an inspection tour of the schools together with Commissioner for Information, Mohammed Garuba. This was contained in a statement issued by the Ministry of Education Public Relations Officer Aliu Yusuf. According to the statement, the rehabilitation exercise comprises of the provision of electricity generating set, connecting the school with national grid, construction of mosque, sinking of boreholes, and provision of mattresses, among other renovations. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has raised the alarm that international travelers from some specific countries who are COVID-19 positive have been making their way into the country by presenting fake PCR results. The National Coordinator of the Task Force, Dr. Sani Aliu, disclosed this on Tuesday in response to the Joint Senate Committees on Health and Aviation on the testing procedures following the reopening of the international airspace. According to him, in one instance, up to 40% of passengers in a single flight tested positive for COVID-19 despite having tested negative before boarding from their respective countries. Consequently, Aliu said an adjustment have been made to the validity period of the PCR test to be presented before boarding from 7 to 4 days. On its part, the Senate said it is worried about the low number of laboratories in the country. They, however, promised that a request for 52 labs will be made in the 2021 budget. The House of Representatives Committee on Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) on Tuesday hosted the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to a closed-door meeting for over 3 hours. The meeting, which held in the office of Mr. Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, the committee chairman at the National Assembly complex, began at about 3:30 p.m. and ended at about 7 p.m. Mr. Akpabio had earlier visited the acting clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Olatunde Ojo, to congratulate him on his appointment. Speaking to journalists earlier, Mr. Akpabio said that he was also at the National Assembly to further boost the cordial relation between the executive and the legislature. The minister congratulated the acting clerk of the National Assembly for his elevation and solicited the continuous cooperation of the National Assembly towards the development of the Niger Delta region. Head of the Novartis Foundation and co-chair of the Broadband Commission Working Group on Digital and in Health, Dr. Ann Art shed light on its report Reimaging Global Health Through Artificial Intelligence, looking at the gloomy picture painted in the report Reimaging Global Health Through Artificial Intelligence, the roadmap to health maturity, stated that sub-Saharan Africa currently represents 12% of the global population but faces 25% of the world's disease burden. There is urgent need for the continent to match human resources capability with machine capability of a high intelligence tools that can complement health workers. An example is the artificial intelligence is a fantastic example of how you can reach many people who doesn't have access to health facility because there is not enough infrastructure, and we cannot think we can build far enough infrastructure that will cater for this vast number on time in sub-Saharan Africa and train enough doctors to address these needs. Still to come your way is the business and the international, but before that, a quick commercial break. Welcome back. On business, Aguirita has more detail.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation, rose by 0.40 percentage points between July and August 2020 on a year-on-year basis, the highest increase recorded since October 2016. According to the August CPI inflation report released by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), the rate of inflation stood at 13.22% in August, higher than the 12.82% recorded in July. Inflation measures the rate at which the price of goods and services increased over a period of time. The last time Nigerian inflation rate was in this region was in March 2018, when the economy was recovering from the 2006 recession, and inflation rate was on decline from the 18% recorded during the recession. On a month-on-month basis, the headline index increased by 1.34% in August 2020. This is 0.09% higher than the rate recorded in July 2020. The urban inflation rate increased by 13.83% year-on-year in August 2020 from 13.40% recorded in July 2020, while the rural inflation rate increased by 12.65% in August 2020 from 12.28% in July 2020. The composed food items rose by 16.00% in August 2020 compared to 15.48% in July 2020. According to the NBS, the rise in the food index was caused by increase in prices of bread and cereals, potatoes, yam, and other tubers, meat, fish, fruits, oils and fats, and vegetables. Core inflation, which excludes the price of vital agricultural produce, stood at 10.22% in August 2020, up by 0.42 percentage points when compared with 10.10% recorded in July 2020. The highest increase was recorded in prices of passengers, transport by air, hospital services, medical services, pharmaceutical products, maintenance and repairs of personal transport equipment, vehicle spare parts, motor cars, passenger transport by road, miscellaneous services relating to the dwelling, repairing of furniture and pre-medical services. On a year-on-year basis, the rate of increase in the price was recorded in Kogi 17.29%, Bauchi 15.77%, and Ebonyi and Yobe 14.71%, while Lagos 11.45%, Kwara 11.22%, and Abuja 11.17%, recorded the slowest rise in headline year-on-year inflation. And that's been on Standard Voice Business Update. I'm Agua Rita.
And on the international scene, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Tijani Mohammed Bande, on Tuesday bowed out of office as president of the 74th session of the General Assembly. He handed over the gavel to the Turkish diplomat and politician Volkan Bozkır, who will be steering the ship of the 75th session of the 193-member lawmaking body. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the change of the baton took place during the closing ceremony of the 74th session. The brief ceremony held inside the General Assembly Hall at the UN headquarters in New York under strict social distancing rules, said UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in attendance. In his remarks, Guterres said the 74th session was like no other in the 75 years history of the UN, citing the COVID-19 pandemic made the last few months extremely difficult for the world. The UN chief congratulated Mohammed Bande for his sterling leadership that saw the 74th session completing its full program of work in spite of the enormous challenges. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. APC supporters have lost confidence in Zamfara State Commissioner of Police. Troops arrest notorious arms supplier with police ID card, recover 4 million naira and arms. Presidential task force says some international travelers are presenting fake COVID-19 results. On business, inflation rate hit 13.22%, the highest jump since October 2016. And on the international scene, Nigeria's Mohammed Bande bows out as United Nations General Assembly's president. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garubatunau. I still remain Musa Joy Unyoda. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.